Welcome back, John Morris Show on a Wednesday morning. Look who's here, our good friend, the well-dressed Jerry Hill. Welcome to you. You're looking dapper.
Now, Joe Gonzalez promises me that this meets the criteria. I know you said coat and tie, but he said this meets the criteria for the headshot.
The way it's worded, so we were asked in the athletic department to do new headshots. I think some people go years and years without doing a new headshot.
I'm not sure Will Lattimore has ever had one, like since he was a student.
Student shot. Yeah. So we're all basically not asked, required to do a new headshot. And they say wear your Sunday best.
Well, the last one I saw said business professional.
That's true. That's true. That was the reminder from Kendall yesterday.
And so I did. I checked in with Joe, and since they're taking them, I'm like, do I really have to wear a coat and a tie? And he's like, no, just, and he, gave me some options.
Okay. Like, all right. Okay. So this is it.
Now I may not meet the criteria.
This is business professional.
He also sent me a picture of Dumb and Dumber.
Of course he did.
I said, if I had one of those suits, I would definitely wear it to the headshot.
If I had one, you and I would go together wearing those suits.
Dumb and Dumber. It would be very fitting.
That would be so funny.
Gosh.
If we show up and that's our business
we may have to do that before the next headshot. Is get the Dumb and Dumber suits.
Oh, I like the idea. That is so good. So add to the mix the live show at the Brazos Landing. You're coming over?
Yes.
Please do.
Yes.
And add to that, I got a podcast recording and the headshot.
Oh my
business
gosh.
Professional.
It's a day, right?
Business professional.
Yes.
We're nothing if we're not business professional. So you were you with us from the first pitch to the last pitch last night?
I was not. I'd honestly forgot that the game was going on.
Yeah.
And then, got home, had dinner with the wife, and she went on to bed. And I went back and tracked it at some point and was like, oh, they're in extras.
Yeah.
So I turned it on then, watched in the top of the 12th when they scored their 2 runs. And I'm like, but man.
Yeah.
Came back.
What a comeback.
That was an incredible comeback. Just everything that had to happen. I didn't even go back to the top of the 12th. That could have imploded.
That's right. Yeah.
And getting that last out, holding them to 2 runs. I mean, that's not ideal anyway. But, if it implodes, then, you kind of lose a little bit of that hope. And I can't remember the guy's name that came in to get that.
Luke DeVasier at the end.
He came in and got that out. So that was big, John, just to keep it there and then kind of give your – but, man, when Tice hit that home run, I was like, oh, my gosh. He
had 2 bombs last night.
That was incredible. Already has 14 home runs.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Did you see the most since Josh Ludy had 16 in 2012?
Yeah.
The first and back to what you were saying, 2 runs in the top of the 12th, but they left the bases loaded.
Yes.
So it could have really gotten out of hand.
It could have imploded and, maybe it's a 5 or 6 run game. And so keeping it to 2, giving yourself a chance, and then you get guys on and Tice hits the big home run, but it keeps going.
Yeah.
That first to third on the wild pitch, you don't, how many times do you see that? And he definitely got in. Like you, when I saw it live, I was like, oh, he's out.
Throw beat him there.
Yeah. Throw definitely beat him, but the umpire was right there and was emphatic. So I felt like it would hold up, but you just never know, but he did seem to get his right hand in.
Yeah.
That was Brighton Clements,
right?
Great job by him. And then Dylan coming through. That was huge.
Yeah. Fun story with Dylan Perez getting the game winner. Did you hear say his dad played for UTSA?
Yeah.
So
that's awesome.
That was pretty cool. So everything about it, just a big win for the Bears last night.
That was huge. I mean, because you got the Sunday win in the series that you needed. You needed to get at least one there. Got that. And then getting this one, leading into the TCU weekend, that was big, John. I mean, certainly you could have lost it and it wouldn't have affected you in the standings. But I think this just kind of boosts your postseason resume. So they keep on keeping on.
Yeah. So good win for baseball now, TCU, and that'll be fun this weekend. Yeah. Always big when Baylor and TCU get together.
Yeah, Friday starts Friday night, and this is a big series. This is where I think they're tied for 5th, right?
Right.
At 8-7 going into this series. So, that would be a big deal to, give you a leg up on them if you win the series. So I think that's what makes this weekend so big, and love that it's here at home. So should be fun.
Yeah, hopeful of really good crowds all weekend for Baylor and TCU. All right, softball, big one tonight. Friday's a gold out, go gold for baseball. Tonight is a gold out for Baylor softball. It's the Aggies, our old friends from College Station coming up.
I don't know that this fits in the gold out. It's not a Baylor gold, but I don't know if they would give me credit for this or not. Yeah. But anyway, no, that's big, John. And we've talked about it before, but I like the fact that Glenn keeps playing these teams. It just makes sense when they're that close and you can get a non-conference game either going there or coming here, and in Texas' case, both. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think it's great playing those teams because good resume builders, and I think it's good for both teams. In-state rivals and all that, and have a lot of history with both of those programs. So I think it's great that they're playing A&M.
It's a big game, a really good opportunity for Baylor. They played 3 one-run games against Kansas, only won one of those. So they need to, this would be a big one to pick up this evening.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a tough series because really you could have won all of them.
Right.
But I did like the way that they played though. In that series because they had struggled some recently and kind of hit the skids a little bit. So it was good to see them kind of battle back, win that first one, and 1-0 in the second one, and right down to the wire in the last one. So it was good to see them have that kind of series to kind of bounce back. But yeah, a game like this would be huge for them. Particularly going into the weekend. I believe they play Utah
this weekend here. Yeah. All right. Men's and women's tennis, Big 12 championships begin tomorrow in Orlando.
I think there may be some matches today, but both the men and women are playing tomorrow. Sorry. The women play TCU. The women are seeded 6. They play 3rd-seeded TCU. The men are the reverse. They're the 3 seed, and they play 6-seeded Utah tomorrow in the quarterfinals. So they're already into the quarterfinals, but there are some, preliminary or play-in type games today.
Yeah. All right. Very good. So men's and women's tennis, is there a chance? Do the men, are they in position to host?
Oh, yeah.
First and second round?
Yeah. And I think they could even, I don't remember if it's first, second, and third.
That's right.
I think first and second, though, for sure.
Right.
Because they're, right now they're 11th.
Right.
And they have some good wins, John. Beating Ohio State earlier, beating Wake Forest, beating A&M. All those are at UCF. They're all top 15 programs. So I think they're in a good position to host first and second round, maybe not third round. But, yeah, that's a change fairly recently that you do first and second rounds at sites, at host sites. And then it's almost like a super regional, but that third round plays into the national championship. So, I think they're in a great position to host. The women, I think they should get into postseason, wouldn't host, but they're in position to, at least make postseason and see what they can do.
Very good. The Baylor Invitational track meet was last Friday, so that's been run since the last time we talked.
Yeah.
Michael Johnson Invitational is coming up not this week, but next.
Right.
So you made it through the one-day Baylor Invite.
I survived, John. It was kind of cool because it was one day.
Right.
You show up at whatever time, and then we were done by 5:30, 5:45.
Oh, that's nice.
So it was a great day. Had some really good performances. Tinley Kuhn actually beat Molly Haywood in the pole vault.
Yeah.
She's now number 2 in the nation.
Wow, is that
and
right?
Molly's tied for 3rd. So, and then another big one that happened that weekend was Sima Lucero in the 400-meter hurdles. Her best was like 57 something. She ran under 56, like 55, set the program record, and she's now like number 8 nationally. So, it wasn't a huge meet, not a lot of teams that came. TCU, LSU, they came. So it was a good meet and had some good performances. This is a big one this meet this week against or going to Florida for the Tom Jones Memorial. That one will be a big one. I think Coach Ford said there's 13 on the women's side, top 25 teams, and 11 on the men's side. So a lot of really good competition this weekend. And then they're sending a select group of distance runners to California. So kind of split squad this week. But this will be a big one leading into the Michael Johnson next week, 24th and 25th at Clyde Hart Stadium.
Yep, very good. And they always do a pretty cool reunion with former track and field student athletes.
Yeah, there's always a great number of alums and stuff that come back that weekend just with the name, and just a good weekend to come back. They're actually honoring the 1976 Southwest Conference Championship team, which apparently included Maxie Parrish, or was he? I don't know if he was.
I don't think he was a member of the team. Was he just? No, he would have been.
He's the one that's orchestrated the whole reunion.
He would have been.
So
I was thinking he was media relations, but that was when he was in school.
Right.
Yeah,
that was when he was still. So I'm assuming he actually ran on the track team. I don't know.
Yeah, very cool.
But yeah, Maxie's the one that's kind of organized that, and so there's a big group coming from that 76 team. But like you said, this is one where a lot of alums come back. So it's kind of a cool deal. Also honoring Jason Baldridge that weekend, passed away fairly recently. And if you look on their jerseys, they have JB and CH, Coach Hart, on their jerseys. So Jason will be honored that weekend along with Senior Day. Yeah. So it's a lot. It's a lot. Good thing that there's nothing else going on that weekend, right?
We'll dive into all of that next week, but that's the Fan Fest weekend with crazy. Football wrapping up, spring drills, baseball and softball are at home, and then the track and field meet. Yeah. What else can we throw in there? This is next week. This is not this week.
Well, we have the Coach McGraw luncheon.
Lunch with the legend on the Thursday, 23rd. Yeah.
The golf tournament with the B association. So just so many things. It's like, what else can we fit in here?
One of those weekends in the spring. That's true. All right. What else? Acrobatics and tumbling, not this week, but next week. Nationals out in Azusa, California. They were named shocking. They were number one seed.
Wow. That would have been shocking if they weren't the number one seed. Like, what's going on here?
You know what? And Fee would have loved it. She would have just used that as fuel if they weren't the number one seed.
Right. And so they're facing Duquesne. our friends from Duquesne.
There's a story there.
Yes, they're facing Duquesne. It's 9 p.m. I believe our time, because this is out, like you said, it's in Azusa, California. So that's next Thursday. They're facing Duquesne in the quarterfinal round.
Right. So the story, Garrett, do you know this? The story is there was a sportscaster in town who.
Not John Morris.
It was not me. And he's reading scores or something, and he reads it as Duquesne.
Duquesne?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
And it has lived on for a long time.
I don't remember when that was, but I
that
still.
Was a long time ago.
Yeah. Duquesne. Yeah.
Duquesne. So that's A&T next week. What else?
Men's golf wrapped up the Mountaineer invite yesterday. They were up in West Virginia. Played okay. They were 10th out of 19. I think it could have been a better tournament, but they had some good rounds there. Davis Ovard shot 1 under 71 yesterday. So I think Coach Murphy was maybe not pleased with the final results, but he did see enough, good things to kind of build on, because their next is the Big 12 Championships, not this Monday coming up, but the week after that. And women's golf goes to the Dallas Athletic Club for the Big 12 Championship next week.
Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah. And since the last time we talked on the air, we talk every day in our hallway.
Yes, we do.
But Johnny Kiefer at the Masters didn't make the cut. Yeah. But it was cool to see him there.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I think Matt Roberts told me something about this, because this was, I guess, during the broadcast. So there was something about, the most practice shots on that Saturday.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I guess they have access to it. If you're there, you can, practice on Saturday. And he had the most practice shots of anybody in the field.
He hadn't made the cut.
Why would you not? Yeah, no. This was the Saturday before.
Oh, before. Okay.
Saturday before, he had the most practice shots of anybody in the field.
Not surprising if you know Johnny Kiefer.
He works at it. So, and he, I think it. Again, every time he gets an opportunity like that, he'll be better the next time. He's played in the Masters now, so great for him, and hopefully he gets back on the track. He had that great. I think he was third place in one of the PGA tournaments. That kind of really saved him for the year.
Right.
You got to finish in the top 125 money to keep your PGA Tour card, and he's like in the 50s or something now, because that was a huge payday that day. So, pulling for Johnny Kiefer.
Yep, always fun. All right, did you participate in Dia de Loso in any way yesterday?
No, there were a lot of people that participated in just not showing up in the office.
And using Dia de Loso
as the reason not to show up.
Hey, more power to
Dia de Loso. So, no, I did not, John. I wasn't sure what was going on campus because I don't know. I've never been involved in that or participate. What do they do?
Well, does North Texas have anything like this?
Not anything like it.
Okay,
no.
It's a strictly Baylor thing. It's just there's games, there's activities, there's food trucks, there's all kinds of stuff going on.
Okay,
and there's no class.
It's almost like a field day. Remember elementary school or whatever?
Right.
Yeah,
it's very much like that. I always remember the tug of war. The tug of war is very popular.
Yeah.
Like you get sororities, fraternities, different groups that go against each other.
Okay. No mud involved.
Sometimes there is.
Sometimes there's mud involved.
Yeah. Okay. If the weather chooses to be rainy that day, Dia de Loso goes on in the mud.
Nice.
And I'm thinking I remember a pig scramble at one point.
Pig scramble.
In the mud.
Okay.
So, I mean, what says Dia de Loso like a pig scramble?
Like a pig scramble. Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Thanks for being with us. Always appreciate it.
Absolutely.
In your business professional attire.
Yes, we're going to call it that today.
And we'll see you at noon.
Yes, absolutely.
Lunch is on me.
At Brazos Landing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Did you say lunch is on you?
I did say that.
Garrett, you heard that, right?
Yes,
lunch,
sir.
Lunch is on JMo.
Lunch is on JMo.
All right, very good. You heard it.
Now I'm definitely showing up.
If there was any question.
Yeah, no, I'm showing up now.
He'll be there now.
Yeah.
All right, very good. Thanks to Jerry, Baylor Insider. Appreciate all of his insight in Baylor athletics. Even though he joins the baseball game when it gets to extra innings last night, he was there for the finish. Take a break. Back with more. We'll look ahead at some birthdays. Oh, a big anniversary today. We'll share with you. Plenty more coming up. John Morris Show brought to you by Alliance Bank Central Texas and by the Brazos Landing, where we'll be for a bonus show today over the noon hour. Come join us there, and we'll be right back after this.